Good morning. It's December 28th, 2024, the last Friday of the year. And it's Wall Street Weekly wrap up with your host, John Newquist. And it was a kind of a shortened week, so we didn't have a lot of news. But let's get into it. We had some interesting things happen. Lilly, besides Elon Musk using Wegovy, they approved Zepbound for sleep apnea. Wow. This is kind of getting interesting as these drugs are helping you with, the weight loss. It's got other benefits, and that's been pretty positive. Again, Lilly and our other one, Novo Nordisk, are doing real well, and but that's a good start. And of course, Lilly's been going sideways, and a lot of people are like, oh, it was at 900. Well, we'll be there in 2025. We will. I mean, if you buy it now, you're gonna be up 20%. Walmart, 1 million drivers. That's a lot of drivers, 1 million drivers. Only 334 million, 340 million, and one out of every 340 people is a Walmart driver. Paid more than 10 million, or $10 a piece, in fees because they opened up a costly deposit. $10. Well, I mean, I kind of like, okay, Walmart will fix it. That's Walmart's attitude. Okay, we'll go in there. Maybe they'll fight it, but it dropped a little bit. I mean, it's kind of hit the wall over here at 95. And remember, we did a split earlier down over here. So I think, it's not going to get it. I think you'll get a chance to buy it a little bit lower. But right now, again, we're waiting for the collapse. It wasn't a good day today. It was a positive week, but not a good day today. Again, 75%, 75-point basic cut, up about almost 80 basis points. So again, we're looking at the home builders. That's one of the stocks we're going to think about. I know Alexa's going to ask me about it, but crude oil's been at 70. Man, it's been tight. That's a tight range. A lot of talk about what the Saudis and the new administration are going to do, what's going to happen to Iran, and so we'll see. I mean, I remember 40 is the magic number, so we make money at 40. Natural gas, man, look at it, 364. This was at $2 this summer. Something. So colder winter. We're supplying almost all Europe, it seems like, for natural gas. So we're doing well in that area. And then gold again, 2,600, and silver went down below 30. And then copper's there. I just put the exchange-weighted, equal-weighted Japan fund up, and it just shows Japan has been slowly creeping up. It's getting better, but it's not much. The currency is still at 157 yen to a dollar. When I was over there a few years ago, it was like 120, 130, 140, 130, 120, something like that. So it's gotten weaker, and that's because the dollar is very strong. In our portfolio, oh my God, boom! Look at this thing compared to S&P. We're almost, not double, but God, 85% higher. We're at 41%. The S&P's at 21, and even if you compare the tech Nasdaq, we're still beating that by far. I mean, that's just incredible for a balanced 14-sector portfolio fund where we post every single trade. Nobody's better. This is, and like I said, I love the Schwab because finally he just does the math for me. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to calculate it. I just take it. And one of the things we showed is the China fund. Again, China has just announced another $300 billion subsidy. I got to believe you got to be in China because they are going to go. I mean, you can play the tariff war all you want, but they're innovating. They got robotics. They got a lot of things happening on it. I think you got to remember they're not selling just to the United States. They got Europe, Asia, Africa, South America. So I think they're going to do well. And of course, Arrowhead. They got a couple things in very early trials. Remember, these things in the early trials. Somebody's going to have a number like 85% don't even get to the class, phase 3 trial and stuff, but they're looking at it, and one of the things I'm always looking at is we can always make the GLP-1s better, and they can always make it so that people could make something, and if they have success, then somebody else who wants in that market, which is a huge market, could be jumping in. So one of our biotechs, it's very tough to be in a biotech, tough this year. Apple going to go into the smart doorbell lock sensor. You have a recognition so you can get in your house. Hey, I'd like to get in my house. Dave, I can't do that. I mean, I don't know. I just sit there and I think, I watch this announcement and I know somebody in Ring says, How's our lock doing? It's on the books. We're doing it. Then you start working on it. I think this could be huge. If you could have a smart lock, unlock, let the kid in, let you in, and things like that, and it works. And then we can do other things like, 360 around the house and all these things. I mean, I just think this is just a tremendous market, I mean, I would pay $15 a month for a nice doorbell type of a camera that is letting me in the house and I can control access on it. I could see that it'd be a big positive. So Apple's been going up and people are up there, and I'm not a fan of it because of the, revenue growth is not double digits. Remember, these are things that, who knows, 2 years, 3 years is coming out. We don't know when it's coming out. But it's something else in there, and they're trying to integrate Siri into AI, and I'll tell you, if Apple does it, it's going to be good, I can ask Amazon, tough questions, and my Alexa, can't do that. Alexa, what is the square root of 352? Alexa, what's the square root of 352?
The square root of 352 is approximately 18.7617.
So, not bad.
This is a reminder. Ask about the portfolio performance in 2025.
Oh, man, I'm telling you. Alexa, stop. We're trying to get 8%. That's the average. Remember, we got 220-plus years in a row. It doesn't usually, other than the 90s, it doesn't go back-to-back double digits, So we're hoping for 8. 10 is a goal. If I had to pick a number, I want to get 10%. Hopefully beat the average. But, we'll see. It's a new team. That's always a positive. The first year the president does pretty good. And then, like I said, we're in a probably third year of the bull market. And I think we can go double digits. So that's the goal for us. Taiwan, again, remember, they're looking at the chip to see where the Huawei chip is, and apparently SoftGo, that's how I'm going to say it, SOPHGO, was the one that had the chip in there from TMC, which was the AI chip and stuff. And they don't supply Huawei, they said. So SoftGo got it from somebody who then put the AI chip into the thing. They know it was one of the Dells or Supermicro backgrounds, but where did it get? So that's what they think. So no more shipments to SoftGo. That's the end of the mystery, I hope, and we'll look at it. And this is the trouble, is that the demand is huge, and if you got money, you can get it. That's just real life. It's just a matter of how much you pay. Well, if you don't have this stuff and you just need to get a few chips and analyze it, that's what they're going to do. Auto delinquencies hit the highest levels in 14 years. The lots are full. I've been by 14 automakers in the last, or lots in the last few weeks, and they're full. Who's buying them? I don't know. I don't think so. I think we got all these used cars that are going to come up there. And so if you're in a Carvana like this is the end. It's coming down. This one here, the 20-50-day cross is coming. It's up here. Remember, this is a $5 stock. I think we're going to see a collapse. So if you want to buy a truck, probably next August could be pretty cheap. I think people are going to get desperate. Everybody's got to sell them. They got to move them. The new cars aren't in there. I'm hearing a lot of stuff under $30,000, full price, brand new for new cars. So I think we're going to see a dramatic pullback in prices. And if you got some money, you might want to be buying it. Just get a good price, the price that you think is good, and you could do well on it. But I think you're going to be able to buy a car pretty cheap, and if you got to sell, not going to be good. ARM said, well, Qualcomm did not branch the licensing. This is a nothing trial. If they win, ARM would have some issues with Qualcomm, but Qualcomm did nothing, so the relationship continues. And of course, they dropped the stock when it came out, and that's like, okay, that's fine. But ARM's, again, remember, is in the Blackwell chip, made by Taiwan Semiconductor. Those are the big troika. That's the big three. You want to be in AI, you better be in those three stocks. Forget all these other pretenders and hyperscalers. That's the three you got to be in. So, and we are going to be in them, because unless we see NVIDIA change the whole design completely, we're going with the people who make it and people who sell the package, which is ARM and NVIDIA. And again, Honda is going to merge with Nissan, and then possibly um, Mitsubishi could join. You know, I don't want to say Honda Nissan is going to be, you know, a good merger or a bad merger, but they don't get anything. They're both making cars, you know. I mean, all I can see is they're going to make a bunch of models, figure out which ones they want to keep. Okay, we'll keep the Sentra, we'll keep the Civic, and you know, and lay off a lot of people, you know, because now you're taken out of a market. And if Mitsubishi joins, it'll be like the third largest automobile company in the country. I just don't see Mitsubishi doing it, but I can't say that. I mean, I don't hear what they're talking about in Japan, and and you know, obviously they've got a green light in Japan. Otherwise, they wouldn't even announce this stuff. So, you know, again, Nissan, you know, is a good company. Honda's a good company, and I just don't know. It seems like a duplicate merger.
This is a reminder. Ask what stocks I'm going to buy.
You know, Alexa, stop. You know, that's a good question. I mean, we're going to go back to our favorites. You know, I do like Baidu in China for the autonomous thing. Remember, it's just not going to be China. They're going to go to Europe and everywhere else and start doing this technology because it's financially viable, whether it be trucks or cars or anything else. Siri, I just did the math on Siri, and Siri's, you know, a big cash. You know, everybody's subscribing, stable model. I just think Buffett might be right about it. It's just stocks been dog, so we might go into that again. I like Nucor. If you had to pick a steel company, the steel industry is being beat up because the economy's slow in Europe and Asia. So there's nobody pushing the steel out of the mills as fast as they used to do. And so, but I like Nucor for a long term. It's a cyclical stock, so we're going to be at the bottom of the cycle. I think it goes down like the 80s when it was really bad in the, you know, the collapse of 2020 or whatever it was, the COVID collapse. And then we'll talk about another one called Sound that NVIDIA owns or is a partner in, and the revenue growth is huge. So there's one we'll look at it. But those are the things we're looking at, and we're looking at. All right, next week's the end of the 31st is going to be the end of the year wrap up. I'm going to go through all our stocks, how we did, how our end of portfolio. Hopefully we make 40%. That'd be pretty nice. 33 and 40%, 70% in 2 years. Wow, that's incredible. But we'll see. I mean, you know, we're talking just you know, I was looking at like 8 years of gains in 2 years. Wow. Bristol Myers Squibb, you know, I always watch what the drugs are. You know, they've got a couple of them for treating cancers. You know, the cancer drugs are always tough because, yeah, it helps. It might help a little bit on it, but you know, you're looking for cancer drugs. You could be looking at 1,000 ones and nothing goes up. You know, so the chart on Bristol Myers Squibb, just a negative chart. I mean, it's a pretty depressing chart. So I like it. They're doing it. It's got approval. Remember, it's good when they get approval, like FDA approval, and it's Europe. It's probably going to come here. It's just that I got to see more data on that cancer. I mean, does it extend the life 2 months, 8 months, 5 years? I mean, we'll see. Cardano, we're going to start buying into the other altcoins. You know, remember, Bitcoin is probably. I was thinking about 96. Alexa, what is Bitcoin's price? Alexa, what is Bitcoin price?
One Bitcoin is worth $94,200.
Ooh, even lower.
4% over the last 24 hours.
Yeah, see, this has been a drop. You know, then now we got the Paris. Oh, the sky is falling. The sky is falling. It's going to go down to 60. I don't know. You know, I mean, you know, the secret wallet thing bothers me, but you know, I think we're going to go into you know, Cardano and XRP, and we've already got Solana and Cardano, so, and Ethereum and Bitcoin, and we'll add some more. I like Polkadot. I like the guy that did that, and he's pretty good. But, you know, I think that you're going to see one of the countries, you know, start to really do it. And, you know, this wallet thing is just a nightmare. You know, how many freaking codes, you know. But if you can put the trading on your phone and the phone will remember your code and never let anybody access it, then we might see a massive adoption. Just take your phone, comes right out of your Bitcoin wallet, you know. Could do that, you know. I think that's an area that we can look at. But, you know, Cardano, man, it's down to 30 cents, jumped up, doubled, tripled, and now we're back. And so how much is it going to go down? I don't know. It could, you know, I believe you can't chart the cryptocurrencies. I think it defies charting. So I tell people, don't be trying to chart it because, you know, it's got a life of its own. The social stocks, we're in 3 of them, so we're overweight on social. Google, of course, and Alphabet, and Meta, and then TKO. Man, look at this TKO and that revenue jump. Now, this is why we're looking at sound. I mean, when I do these things and I look at the quarter to quarter from a year ago, this has a big, huge jump. I mean, when I look at all my places with stuff, and Reddit is kind of got my attention too, and it makes money. I don't know. I mean, I kind of use Reddit, but I don't use it a lot and stuff. So social stocks kind of getting too pricey. That's a pretty high incline. I like it a little bit flatter, but it's a good sector to be in. And of course, Google and the quantum chip is going to be good. I mean, Meta's going to add the Ray-Ban glasses, and Ocean's supposed to get them. And I'm like, oh my God, Ocean's not going to get this thing online for a year or two. And they're going to talk about it before they do it. And they got the new team that's got to cut money. I can see them, yeah, just cut that real quick.
This is a reminder. Ask about Bitcoin.
Oh, we did talk about, Alexa, stop. We did talk about Bitcoin.
This is a reminder. Ask about Bitcoin.
Well, the Bitcoin, like I said, it's 94. I think you got to add. I mean, remember we were up at 108 or so. I mean, so you've dropped over 10% and 15% now. So I mean, you're going to get in. Geez, it's not that bad. I always tell people Michael Saylor bought a whole bunch at 100. So if you're buying cheaper than Michael Saylor, not so bad. Again, Meta's been solid. It can't break that trend, but I think it will. I mean, I look at Meta being better. I mean, they're just a juggernaut. They're killing it on Threads. And overall, solid company. And of course, Google, I think will be the next $3 trillion company. I mean, PE's only 25. You got in there. They got the quantum chip. They got the Waymo. They're hitting on cylinders. It used to be just search, and now I can see a point where Google could have more streams of income than Tesla has and stuff. And little dividend, but Waymo starts in Tokyo. Remember, Tokyo. We're going to go get it. Elon wants to go. He wants to get it started. He kind of has it on his old Teslas and stuff. So, but this is the future. I mean, the trucking industry just is waiting with bated breath to sit there and see this work on trucks and take out and do these long haul routes with the thing. Be safer. Instead of 40,000 deaths, I bet we would knock down we'd kill 1,000 truck drivers every year. I mean, so you could cut that deaths in half by, get rid of half the truckers, half the deaths, right? I mean, it'd be safer for everybody. And I know, geez, if I can call up a Waymo and just do the thing and get me there real quick, I might just do that. Why would you need a car, right? If it's super cheap. I mean, there would be a point where you have a car versus a Waymo. If you're going to the shopping, going to the restaurant, and all that other stuff, then why not just take the Waymo? The big threat is, that's why I said we're not going to probably go to Uber and stuff. TKO, I mean, my God, this thing is on fire with wrestling. I mean, I'm seeing everything on WWE, and of course they got mixed martial arts and the whole thing with the fighters, and I watch that all the time, and a lot of bettors, a lot of things, and Dana White's doing pretty good in that area. And as it gets more organized, I don't know. See, one of the things I always say, well, you got 4 weeks from the last match to the January match, and it's like, that's not too good. I mean, I know you're going on vacation, go take 2 weeks, but not 4. And that's to me where you drop stuff. And there's again, we got marketing and everything else. So UFC Ultimate Fighting is part of this, along with WWE, and I just see it just to being a monster and been a solid grower, and I think it'll be better next year too. And again, a lot of people forgot that it was overall a green week. I mean, we had a couple horrible days, but it's not that bad. And of course, a little bit on Microsoft and Tesla and Walmart, but just these are like 1% moves, so I'm not too worried about it. And the video is up the best, and so we did better on that because that's our biggest position. But we're going to be back for a special Monday show. We're just going to go through all our stocks that we have, talk about each one of them, just show the charts, and then talk about how we ended the year. Hopefully, we're going to end it at 40%. I mean, I'm hoping Monday's not a collapse or something. But we will see you next week. Stay warm, and let's do well.